those things that I did not like about Aquaman are still sticking in my head. Some of the line delivery in there, I still call me Ocean Master. Such a self.
If he said it like that, that'd be fine. I am Ocean Master.
Yeah. This is the year I put a lot of thought into to gifts for people out there, and her I've spent a lot of time, and I'm actually this is one I'm really proud of too. I'm Martin, like I want to say it, that shirt from DTmerch.com. I wasn't gonna say it, but I saw your face. I was like, should I beat him to it? Oh, she's gonna be happy to see that. Oh, I got her a lot of things over here. I got her that Christmas sweater that she can wear next year with her own face on it.
That's right.
Get the gift of herself. Oh, the black cotton tee with the white logo. Oh, you know what? We are going to make a lot of stew this year, man. She's talking about having that baby. I got another mouth to feed. The phone covers, the gift certificates. Hey, I might even get this for myself right here. You know, get that little crumb that's coming to the family right there. When you do decide to subscribe, you can do so in a very easy way. You have made it easier for you to go in there and become a toasty and get that toasty goodness all over your body this Christmas. There's a lot of people out there. They want to put us in a block of cement and just dump us in the ocean right now. They said, guys, I put up with a lot of bullshit from you, and I've held my tongue. But now you have crossed the line, sirs. You have crossed the line talking about my Aquaman. You just didn't get it.
Might want to strap in. Welcome home.
A lot of people, they threw this man a welcome home party. They love this movie. Movie is right now sitting on Rotten Tomatoes with a 64%, which is fresh.
It was 76 when I saw it before.
Was it 76 when you saw it before? Mm-hmm. Well, there you go, 64%. A lot of people were watching the movie, and they said, I get it. I know that it's not that well written. I know it's a goofy film. I know it's downright stupid in some parts. But I just had a lot of fun with it. Now, we went in and we gave this, I gave it a matinee. I gave it a rental, and you gave it some old bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even give it a bad rental. I didn't give it a good rental. I said, just, it's a steady rental right there. Martin like, but, I see what you're saying. So I give it some good old bullshit.
Yeah, I gave it a high some old
bullshit. Some high old bullshit. And I don't know if I really changed my opinion so much, because I've been thinking this over and over again in my head about this movie. I don't, is there something that we're missing? And I think it's worth talking about and having a discussion. What are people seeing that we possibly don't? We are people who see, Martin and myself, we see a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. And now we've set a standard for certain films for ourselves. Like I always say, story means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. Good characters mean a lot to me. And then I like the bonus of the special effects and the colors and the money and all that and the blockbuster feel. All that would just help, but it's really it's nothing more satisfying than coming out with everything. And we have gone back and enjoyed movies just for being fun too. Sure. That were not necessarily all that great. So what is it? I just want to open up a discussion, because also I gotta let you know, like, people were mad on YouTube now, and they were fair. When I say mad, not really mad, but they just came in like, man, they were frustrated. I like y'all, I do, but man, y'all full of shit. Y'all, I gotta part ways with you on this. And this is probably one of my most disliked videos in a long time, in years, man. And I know you don't change your opinion, but would you, because you just went back and you saw Mary Poppins,
right?
And you came back and said,
I like it better.
That was a better movie than what I remember the first time around. Mm-hmm. Do you think that there would even be the possibility of doing something like that with this? Hell no.
Well, it'd be easy for me to be defensive now and go like, no. And I suppose anything's possible, but I didn't reach my conclusions on this movie lightly. I've read reviews on both sides from other writers
Yeah.
and people I know, good friends, some who absolutely hated it, some who hated it more than me, and then one in particular who loved it and raved about it. And just reading things that he wrote, I was like, huh. Because I want to have, it's my friend. I want to meet him in the middle somewhere, or come to see things from his side.
Do you know who it is? Can you say? When they loved it, you can say who it is, right? That's not like.
Was the what do you call him now? The Toaster 3000, the co-host.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I was like thinking, well, this is the same thing he wrote about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But just reading his. Because he was just just glowing over it, gushing over it, and just reading it, going piece by piece. I was like, yeah, I just feel like we saw completely different things.
You are going to reach that part in your relationship with someone, whether it be with a loved one or it's an online critic and the people who read them. There's going to be a part where you're going to disagree on something, and it's going to be heavy. And most people, you are going to be in that minority of people who love something or hate something.
Yeah.
And it's just, and that's just how it is. Because
Yeah,
I'm really putting this through my head, and I'm like, man, I can't. As much as and some people are enjoying this. I've seen headlines of people saying, this is the movie that's better than it should be, or this doesn't deserve to be as good as it is. And I'm trying to find out where that movie is for you. But I'm not, but that's just me. Because I'm going through everything. I said, should I pull back and say something? I will say this. I can kind of see what people are saying. Because I did now in the review, I know I told people, I said, I think you will enjoy it. Go see it.
You did.
And apparently I was right. I knew a lot of people would see this after I'd seen it, because I think it does offer enough entertainment value in there for people who just want to see things such as a lot of CG effects and every now and then, maybe some humor from your main person, who Jason Mamoa does deliver that. I mean, if you're going to follow anybody through the movie, then you follow Jason Mamoa, because Jason Mamoa, I will say that he's a great leading guy for this role right here.
He is. I liked him quite a bit.
In the future, when this movie finally hits TV, when it starts to play on cable, if that's even going to be a thing in the future, I can see how a movie like this can be something that kids are going to actually say years from now, man, I grew up on this movie. I love this movie.
Yeah.
This defined superheroes for me when I was coming up. Ooh. Yeah, now there is a difference in that this is a full-blown $100 million blockbuster film, live action, but it is like a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons that we grew up with.
It is.
It's I mean, that we loved. It's you have those all those things were really goofy storylines.
Yeah. And
you had your fun characters in that you followed as the leads, but then you also had, those villains who took everything very seriously.
There's very little moral ambiguity here.
Oh yeah.
Everyone is either completely evil or completely good.
Maybe that's
and the evil ones love to speechify loudly too.
Although I will tell you, man, nowhere near a good a villain as Killmonger or Thanos, but I will say that one thing they did actually make me think about and made me consider Ocean Master. I had to agree with him.
How so?
Well, he said, look at them throwing all this shit up on the beach, all this trash and blowing things up, and we just down here chilling, ain't messing with nobody, and they are dumping on us. We got to do something about this. And I was like,
we should go talk to them. No, I'm sorry. He says, we should go to war and destroy them all.
You know why? Because he saw how destructive they were. And he's like, these people ain't going to listen to reason. They're going to see my ass and put me in a lab. And then I'll come after everybody else. I saw, I don't think the villain is well written, but I saw what, I saw what he was talking about. And I was like, okay, you know what? That's kind of a cool start. But, looking at this, I had to go back and think about things too. Like I would never criticize anybody for liking this. This brings up a question and it brings up an understanding too. You know, I was the one, and I think Martin too. We were the ones that enjoyed what has, you know, there's no denying is a terrible film, and it's a DC film, and it's one that's probably one of the it is the biggest disappointment that changed everything, and I kind of enjoyed it.
I'm looking for warriors. This stranger.
You said that like it explains why there's a total stranger sitting in the dark in my second favorite chair.
You know, okay, so the understanding of this is that is not a good movie at all. And when I came out, my argument was, but it's fun.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I can't really just come up here and look at people and criticize the movie and expect them to take me that seriously when I'm liking something like this, because it's the same, you know, to me, this is kind of the same thing, which brings up the question, why is Aquaman really being given praise for being goofy and being very loose and fun, and this movie is being, you know, it's considered to be one of the worst movies ever made by people? You know, why is this, you know, why are the same elements in this that were fun not working so much as they were in Aquaman?
I think because people have spent much of their lives looking forward to a Justice League movie. Not even necessarily this one, but some Justice League movie. And by all rights, a Justice League movie should be awesome. By that same token, an Aquaman movie, quote unquote, should be lame. And especially following a Justice League movie that people didn't like. So for Justice League, the bar was high. Expectations. For Aquaman, it was very low.
Yeah. People loving this movie for fun. And then they're coming around and they see you see that the ratings fluctuate on Rotten Tomatoes, and you see the reviews coming out and it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good. But essentially it comes down to the audience is saying, listen, I was entertained. Are we as critics becoming, you know, especially I'm speaking of, when I say critics, I'm speaking of you and I mostly. Are we becoming, are we getting to the point where, are we being too harsh? Because I look at not only this, where, you know, this is not the first time this year that we didn't really jive with the audience. You know, there was Bohemian Rhapsody, which started out with a low score on Rotten Tomatoes. People were talking about it, kind of has the same opinions that we did, and then later on it became this massive hit. Do you think that we're starting to miss a point where we're not taking movies? And you know, if you don't believe that, then that's fine. But just something to think about. Are we going in with our points, you know, already made for us, where we got to have this, got to have that, got to have that, and if that strays away from what we've walked in with, then the movie's bad? Are we being too harsh on these things? Should we pull back and maybe consider that some of these are fun and they're just for entertainment?
I feel like we do that quite a bit. A lot of times we'll talk about things. We're like, well, it is, you know, it's fun, or maybe it's not for me, but it's for this audience. My not liking them, these two particular movies don't have to have nothing to do with me being harsh about them. I actually went into both of them in good spirits with the idea that I'm going to enjoy them. I'd been looking forward to both of them, in fact. With Bohemian Rhapsody, it was just overwhelming that, man, there is a basic component to this, like one of the solid building blocks of good movie making that's missing. I know people love it if we hate a movie because then we can really jump on it. I actually don't like that all that much. I prefer to see something that, you know, it has its points. I'm constantly looking for, so what's good about this? But if there's a point where over and over the storytelling is missing something that's so basic to good storytelling, or what makes a good movie, I can't get around it.
You know, and see, that's what I'm thinking. When I say going into a movie with these points, I'm talking about, I already have in my mind, okay, I just came out of Spider-Man. I'm looking for well-written characters. I'm looking for a well-written story. I'm looking for dialogue that is you know, great to decent, to sharp, or to being clever, or just, as I said, just good. You know, I feel like I walked into Aquaman with those things already in place, and it didn't meet those things. and I was maybe I was basing that off of a couple of movies I had seen before. Maybe I stick to those maybe I stick to those standards too hard. You know, because I'm thinking now, and I'm willing to do this. I want to do this, and I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna change my mind. I'm those things that I did not like about Aquaman are still sticking in my head. Some of the line delivery in there, I still call me Ocean Master. You know, such a self.
If he said it like that, that'd be fine. I am Ocean Master.
Yeah, you know, just
we still doing this?
The insanity of the movie at the end, when nothing really made sense. All it was just a clash of CG fish. Those things are still sticking in my head. Those things are still saying that this is rated the way it is. Now I'm thinking, maybe I should watch this again with the mindset that this is nothing but one big giant cartoon.
I think that would help because when I read about the things that people like, they love the fact that people were riding sharks.
Yeah, I mean,
so and if that's all if that's all you need for it to do it for you, you know, God bless you. That's good. I mean, I cannot. Even if we decide we're going to pull back, I cannot get to that point where I love a movie just because it has sharks in it.
I hate it that it has to be with this movie because this movie is so big, and I want people to come in. I do want people to come in and get the review that they want. You know, if they're in loving the movie and this movie's a big hit and the public is loving it, and they come in and they say, "Oh, I can't wait to see how these guys talk about it too," and you walk away like, "Man, fuck them," you know. I don't want. That shit was good. Okay, what they say. Oh, there was one movie out there. I'm gonna play it right now. There was one movie out there that I tried my best. It was a hit, and I didn't buy it, but I did make a copy of it and brought it home. And I tried to watch it there, and it's a movie I just could not get into.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah, we lost a lot of good men out there.
You know how they say we only use 10% of our brains? I think we only use 10% of our hearts.
You know, that was a movie that was a big hit. I remember coming out there and criticizing this film. Wedding Crashers is the movie. I remember criticizing this movie and thinking, yeah, who with me? Hello? You know, it was...
Hey, could you shut up and enjoy this?
I tried my best to love this film, man. I really did. I tried because everybody talked about how much they loved the movie, and I criticized and I said, I am missing something. I went to see it again in the theater. Didn't like it. I watched it at home. I'm just one of those movies I'm just not in it with everybody, man.
It happens, man. That's the same for me with Zoolander and Anchorman.
I feel like maybe I should. I want to see this one more time. Aquaman. I really want to go in. I really want to go in with thinking fun. That's it. Thinking fun. Thinking a live action cartoon. Embracing the goofiness of it, like everybody has been doing, and seeing if that will help. You know, I think I might do that. I'm not gonna tell you even if I don't like it again, or if I like it. You know, I think I'll probably do another review on it and see, because I really do feel like everybody's out there seeing something that I don't.
Yeah, because I read so much when people say, I just love that it's a movie that doesn't take it itself too seriously. And all I can think is, well, okay, Jason Momoa's character doesn't take it too seriously. But the problem, one of the big problems of this movie is that every other character takes it way too seriously.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson is one of the...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just didn't enjoy...
And they could have had so much fun with Willem Dafoe's character. And I was like, why'd you get Willem Dafoe? That could have been anybody.
Or why didn't you just make his character more fun?
Yes. That kind of mentor character is usually a fun character.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. Like a lot of the movie is just very serious, as we said in our review, where that kind of got in the way of me getting into the the sillier parts of the film, because people are not taking it as a silly thing, which is good. You know, they got a job to do. They're supposed to take their roles seriously. So I think I'm gonna do that, man. I think I'm gonna go and watch this again, and I will let you know if I change my mind. Which I tried 3 times for Wedding Crashers and that did not work. So I'm not guaranteeing that
movie's only 90 minutes. So this
has
an extra hour on it.
You know what? Fuck that.
I mean that running time, man. That's what every time you keep saying that, I was like, it sounds like a good idea. So I think about sitting in the theater for 2.5 hours.
And I do not want to go back to a theater, but I feel like I really want to test myself here. I'm very curious. It's one of the reactions that we finally got where I said, okay, you know what? maybe I'm the asshole. Be like, well, you are anyway. But that's the only thing you base it on. No, don't go see that movie again.
You know what? I mean, if I was to admit to any kind of prejudice, it was that we've been on a roll with superhero movies getting better and better and doing new things. And the way they're always about something outside of what they're about. There's always some other layer to them, and they can still be fun. You know, even you go through the early movies of Thor and Black Panther and Wonder Woman, where there is real world building in these in these fantastic realms, and yet they still manage to have a story and characters that came across as real people. And somehow this has just missed the boat. It's like it takes a huge evolutionary step back, but then I was like, okay, well, there'll be a Marvel movie soon, and they'll get it right again.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at some of the chat right here. Iron Armor. These are some good comments and some feedback. It says so much belly aching from Aquaman fans. Let me rephrase that. So much belly aching from Aquaman fans. Adjusting your rating and our technique only supports DCU fan theories that you were bullshitting, performing, reviewing for effect. Or maybe it just says that, we're fair. I mean, and it's not just this movie. It's Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm sure there's another movie out there where I said, all right, something. Venom. Venom. There you go. Venom. These are all movies that I feel like, okay, do I need to adjust the way I do things? I mean, when I say adjust, I mean, I'm not being myself, but maybe, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no self-doubt or anything. In fact, I think that's a cool thing to say. Am I going in with standards that is unfair to the film? And I've been able to, and right now, I'm going to say no, because it's not like we came in here and just said, this sucks. We actually had points that we brought up. But I'll go back and look and see. Some people say a certain amount of people like it because Snyder didn't direct the film, which I mean, yeah. That's another thing. Do you think that people are maybe enjoying it and they already go in with the mindset of their own, which is, okay, this movie is not Zack Snyder, it's brighter. Oh, we've been fed that Aquaman's going to be fun, so we already know to go in with this and have fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, but even then, But when people say that, when people are so happy that Zack Snyder's not there, who's the director, as you know, from the rest of the movies that DC was getting criticized for, at least a lot of them, is that people going in not liking the movie for what it is? Is that people just liking it for another reason?
I mean, that might be a small percentage of people, but I do think if before you go see something, if you're told over and over, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Then you sit there. Even when it's taking itself seriously, you go, "Oh, I think I know what it's doing."
Yeah.
You make the narrative fit what you already have in your head.
Thomas Selva, you do what your review standards are and have been, true to yourself. Your audiences will track with that, and you do things and make up your own minds. So yeah, and again, we didn't tell people what to do out there. I remember Jeremy Jahns didn't even give his review of The Last Jedi. When the movie came out, he was so scared of giving it a bad review. Listen, ain't no, fuck y'all, we ain't scared of that. Look, I don't give a fuck if y'all get mad or not. I'm gonna come in here and speak my mind. Y'all ain't gonna hold me that goddamn hostage. Believe me, y'all, the last thing I want to do is go sit in another 2.5-hour movie, especially when I didn't like that much to begin with, or it was just meh about. But I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm kind of just curious on my own.
Okay.
I really am. I'm just. Because here's the reason why. I always want to go into a movie having fun with it.
Yeah.
I want to actually enjoy a film for what it is. I don't want to see bad movies.
No, me either.
So I think it might be worth it to just go in and see what I think about it. Then I will know, like, okay, I get it. Maybe I need to think about how I'm going to movies right now. And when they say that it is a certain type of film, because they made no bones about it. They said this is just a fun film. Or maybe it'll just make me more... it'll make me stronger about how I feel about the film in the first place.
The whole time I thought it had been so much easier to make this better.
Yeah.
To make it a lot better. It wouldn't have required that much effort.
And that's another thing that's going through my head. When we talked about it, we said, man, there would have been... But then we're making our own movie. I get it.
Yeah, I don't want to make my own movie, but just if you're going to say this movie's fun, To make it fun.
But I was like you, man. I just saw a much better movie in my head when I was watching this. It wasn't like I was watching this and just hating on it to hate on it. It was like, man, I see how this could have been arranged in a certain way where it could have been well written. It could have been more fun. It could have even been serious and still had the right balance.
Yeah.
But what I know. I'm not directing movies, so I'm not writing scripts. What I know. Yeah, your movie sucks, Corey. Did you like this video? Then do me a small, teeny little favor, and that is subscribe to this YouTube channel right here. And if you really like what we do, go to doubletoasted.com, where you'll not only find a longer form version of this video right here, but also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Go to dtmerch.com, support us over there, and stay roasty.